Okay, number 4, I'm going to show you how to do all of the parts of this one, and all we're doing is graphing these piecewise functions over here. Start with the first equation. Whatever this x value is, that is what you're going to plug into this piece of the equation. So this is 0, I'm plugging in 0 here. 0 squared minus 1. Okay, 0 squared is just 0, minus 1 would be negative 1. This is my y value. Your x value is what you plugged in, so that was 0. My y value is what I get, so that's negative 1. Because this has an or equal to underneath it, I know this point needs to be closed. And because this arrow is pointing to the left, I know that I need to go to the left. Okay. Here's my point, 0, negative 1, closed. For the other example that I did, this was a linear function, and so we use the slope to plot what that is. However, this is a quadratic. So if you have a quadratic, you should set up an XY table and do a couple points. Okay, so here's what I mean by that. XY. Your x value, x needs to be less than or equal to 0. Your y value you're going to get from plugging it in to x squared minus 1. Okay, so you can set up your table either way. Have x and y or have these two things. The first thing that you start off with is 0. We already did that here, so that's the first part. Okay, I said that I needed to go to the left because this is pointing to the left. Also, x needs to be less than or equal to 0. So I don't want to put numbers on here that are not going to be on the graph. I need to pick numbers less than 0. So I'm going to say negative 1 and negative 2. You can do however many points you need, but the minimum would be 2 points. Plug each of those in to x squared minus 1. So x squared would be negative 1 squared minus 1. Negative 1 squared is 1, minus 1 is 0. So the next point that you're going to put on your graph would be an x value of negative 1, y value of 0. So that would be here. Do the same thing with this point. X is negative 2, so plug in negative 2 squared, remember I'm plugging it in here, minus 1. Negative 2 squared, so that's negative 2 times negative 2, which is 4, minus 1 is 3. So my y value, my x value is negative 2, my y value is 3. Negative 2, 3. Okay, quadratics are parabolas, so this must be the left side of that parabola. This is probably the vertex. That's how you would do this one. Okay, the second piece. This is linear. This is hard to do with one hand, y'all, sorry. If you have two numbers, okay, it's fine that you have the slope, but if you have two numbers, you're going to plug both of those numbers in here, get those 2 points, and then just connect them. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you now. I'm going to take 2x minus 1, but I'm going to plug in 0, and I'm going to plug in 5. That's going to give me my 2 points for this one. So 2 times 0, which is 0, minus 1 is negative 1. Same thing here. 2 times 5 is 10, minus 1, 9. So these are your points. I plugged in 0 and got negative 1. Oh, geez. I plugged in 5 and got 9. Okay, look back up here and see if they're going to be open or closed. This one has no or equal to underneath it. That means this is going to be open. This does have an or equal to. That means this is going to be closed. So plot these two. 0, negative 1, open. 0, negative 1, open. Okay, there's already a point there. It's okay that it's closed. It's going to be part of the graph anyway. I'm going to connect that with 5, 9. Oh, geez, this one goes off the graph too. I don't know what I was thinking. This is closed. Then you just connect these. Okay, with hopefully a line that's straighter than mine. That's this second part here. 2x minus 1 between 0 and 5, including 5. For this one, okay, these are actually easier. Even though it looks a little bit more complicated because you don't have a lot of stuff going on, it's pretty easy. This is your x value, 5. Your y value is 3. There's nothing to plug in for that. It's just telling you f of x, okay, or y is always 3. This is also going to be an open circle. Okay, you have no or equal to underneath here. So this is open. So at 5, 3, you have an open circle. There's no slope for this. It's just always 3. And I'm going to the right because this arrow is pointing to the right. So that's it for this one. Okay, so this is a good example with everything that you need. Quadratic, linear, and then just horizontal lines.